I'd rather be tall, I'd rather be smart, I'd rather be sure you know I'm there. Wherever we go, whatever we start, I'd rather be sure you know I'm there. I'd rather I always be a part of whatever you do. I'd rather be me with you, wherever we go, I already trust. I'd know what to do if it were us. I'd know what to say, I'd know how to be. I'd know your entire syllabus. I can't think of any other thing in the world I would rather do if I could be. I'd rather be me with. Wait, I'd rather be me with you. The glorious king has returned after, when was the last video? Like July, August, September, October. So what, like 3 months? Yikes. And I was talking about posting every Friday. A lot has changed since then. Obviously, I'm not recording on a Chromebook anymore, so that's pretty nice. I'm in the same spot I was in last time. Same spot in the woods. Got a little bench set up. I don't really know what I want to talk about today. I didn't really think this through. Love. That's what I'm going to talk about. Okay. Love. It's a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing. Sometimes. Love is something that we all need in a lot of regards. We need love for ourselves. We need love from people that we call our family or our friends. And some of us need love from someone in a romantic sense and a sexual sense. But those are kind of grouped together. And without that balance, it's hard to, without having all three of those, it's hard to have just two of them. You know what I mean? So if you don't have love for yourself, it's harder to love your friends and family and a romantic partner, right? If you don't have love from friends, it's harder to love yourself and your romantic partner. And if you don't have a romantic partner, it's hard to love yourself and your friends and your family. And I think that's really interesting that you need all three of those, you know? And some people have trouble finding one of them, you know? Like a majority of people, I'd say, have a trouble finding love for themselves. And I'd also say a large majority of people have trouble keeping love for themselves, if that makes sense. Love, I think, is one of the best and one of the worst things that a person can experience. Because in a sense, it makes you feel really good, right? But then it also makes you feel worse than you've ever felt. You can also have love for, not people, for animals, for nature, for materialistic things, for, a greater purpose, like a God, or your career. It's not limited to just people. But I think that the love to people is something that's more necessary than love for your surroundings, your job, your items, things like that. I think part of that is because we are innately social creatures, if that makes sense. We need to have connection with other people and with ourselves. And like I said, without that balance, it's harder to keep up with the other forms of love, or the love that you have for other people. I'm in a deer stand now, up in a tree. I think love is genuinely one of the greatest motivators, if not the greatest motivator in any person's life. Because if you don't love yourself, or you don't love your family, or you don't love your romantic partner, you don't strive for the things that you want, you know? You don't strive for the things that you're meant for. Okay, this is a bit much, but myself, I'm struggling with motivating myself to make music, to pursue social media, to do basic things, you know, because I'm lacking that balance right now. And it's interesting how no matter who you're lacking love for, you are unable to function properly, to do the things that you need to do. And I think that balance between the goods and the bad of love are necessary to appreciate it. Because if there's no ugliness to the love, you just get bored of the good part of it. And obviously, if it's all just bad love, you just want to get rid of that. Love can also definitely cause you to act in good and bad ways. Because the fear of losing love can cause you to do things that are uncharacteristic for you, or cause you to do things that you might not want to do. And that also applies to all three of those forms of loves: for yourself, for your family and friends, and for a romantic partner. I think that love is something that always balances out, though. I think if you go long enough without one form of love, you obviously start to lose the other two types of love, and then you are strived or moved to get it back, you know? At the end of the day, the love is something that you definitely can't do on your own. You can't love yourself on your own. You need to have other people to love you. You can't love your friends and family alone, because you need to have a family, you know? You need to have multiple people all loving each other. And having a romantic partner, that kind of explains itself. I just learned this recently in my psychology class. Love is even necessary for newborns, or infants in general. Some psychologists did a study on baby monkeys, where they had like a mother made out of wire that had food, and then one made out of fur that had no food. And the baby monkeys would always prefer the fur mother without the food, because they crave that warmth, that sense of love. And yeah, obviously warmth and love are two different things, but I feel like they go hand in hand, because connection with other creatures, human or not, or of the same species or not, is you know, it exists because of love. Ultimately, though, the more you work on one part of love, or one sense of love, the more likely you are to get the rest of them. So if you're struggling with that, you can't find a romantic partner, or you don't have friends, or you don't love yourself, love other people or love yourself more, and you are very likely to attract love for yourself, or attract love to and from others, if that makes sense. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. I went way too long without posting, so excuse me on that. But yeah, that's about it.